Hello everyone. So today we're going to do another short video. We're going to do it on SAP Business One 9.3 release highlights. We're not going to do an exhaustive accounting today, and this is just going to be a quick video. So I'm going to set the timer. We're going to try to keep it to 10 minutes, but I'll set the rooster for 12. So there you go. Okay. So taking a look at the release highlights document. So where do you get this? This is available on SAP's partner portal or customer portal website. So most customers should have access to download this PDF. We're allowed to share this with you. We're allowed to make this video, but we're not actually allowed to download this PDF and put it anywhere else, just according to the contractual obligations that you see down here. Note to customers, partners, and others. So the link for this will take you to a website that is at help.sap.com. I don't know if this is a public link, but test it out. And if any of our customers are if any ProjectLine customers are looking for this, then let me know. But we won't publish this link publicly as per the obligations here. All right, so let's quickly take a look at some of the release highlights. So when you scroll through this document, you got the legal disclaimer stuff, global business, intelligent enterprise, machine learning, blah, blah, blah. Here are the actual highlights, and there are typically a couple of pages of highlights, and they're summarized into sections here. So administration, we've got the sort of the business process administration, the overall ERP administration here. There's a new category now, particularly in the rise of GDPR. This was something that the B1 development team actually spent a lot of time doing in 2018 and parts of 2019. Dealing with GDPR and data protection, the sales purchasing service area, the production area, inventory distribution, financial management, project management. And if we scroll to the next page, so there's the business intelligence section, the platform and extensibility, and this is more sort of back-end infrastructure things. Same with sort of the life cycle management. Like these two sections are sections that an IT manager or like an infrastructure DBA sysadmin, you'll find this interesting, right? Some of the stuff in here, although it's good for general knowledge. Any of these items in the highlights that are marked SAP HANA means that the feature that they're talking about, whether it's a new ad or whether it's enhancements, the feature that they're talking about when this logo applies is only in the SAP Business One for SAP HANA version of Business One. So that's unique to those. And then, of course, depending on what the functionality is, sometimes you can accomplish it also in SQL, but that's not really the topic of this particular quick video. All right, so we're going to take a smattering. We're going to take a quick sample of things. And if you click on any one of these headings, it actually jumps to a more detailed category down below in this 113-page PDF that talks about this. So we can see there's some authorization enhancements, some Excel update enhancements, approval procedure stuff, quick copy and DTW, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to look at this My Settings support thing. So what is this? So I'm going to hop to the administration section, and I'm going to scroll past this stuff. So in 9.3, the My Settings button is now in the ribbon bar, and so what is it? It's this head icon in the ribbon bar that's just kind of roughly after the Messages and Alerts and Calendar button. It's right here, and if you click on it, and I'm just going to flip to the demo system right away here, but this document provides a good description with usually screenshots on what's changed, and they'll talk about the feature or the enhancement and the benefit that it provides. But if I flip over to the demo system, I'm logged into Jerwin's trusty demo system again, and I click on the My Settings, and you now have the ability as an individual user to change some of these settings, whereas before a lot of this was handled administratively, and it would depend on whether or not you had access to this module if you could do these things. Okay, so we've got the manager users, Jerwin, Begonia. There's I'm not going to go through what, of course, all of these mean, but you can see there are sort of the ability to modify some of the general settings. Not all of these options may be available to you as a non-administrator user, right? Particularly this one that says like bind with Microsoft account for Business One, Windows, single sign-on, that sort of thing. Some of these, and your password. This would be the place that would be a good launching point to change your password. And they've kind of taken things that are in a few different areas and kind of drawn them into one screen, which is nice. If you look on the Services tab, here are some nice system tweaks that you can change. So things like, let's see, I think you're allowed to choose whether you pop up, open exchange rates tables. So you can choose when you launch Business One if the exchange rate table pops up as a reminder to set your exchange rates for the day. So nice thing about that. Check out these settings. You may like to change some of them. Then when it comes to display, now because our company has decided to use the SAP Fiori cockpit, we're not allowed to change the skin style because this is the skin style Fiori for now until version 10. I think there's another skin coming. But if you weren't using the Fiori cockpit, I think individual users are allowed to change their skin style. You can change the background color for Windows if you like. Now that's controlled at a per user level. The language set, so any of these, I think there's 26, 27 different languages. If you're more, there's even Brazilian Portuguese. Raphael will be so relieved. Okay, so yeah, if you don't speak like regular Portuguese, proper Portuguese, really, sorry, don't send all my comments on that to Darryl McClarty at google.com. Brazilian Portuguese, regular Portuguese, or whatever language here, these are the ones that are available. You can switch the system and then all of the labels for everything will transfer into Brazilian Portuguese. Font size, you could change your font size, but just a word of caution on this, like font size will increase up to a certain point, and then you may see a change in the behavior of forms and settings. Like Business One sort of was written to accommodate a certain font size. Sometimes if you're not able to crank your font size up high enough to sort of read your screen properly, consider changing the resolution, the base resolution of your monitor. That's also another way, or the scaling of applications. That's more of a Windows setting that if you're running, Windows 10 here and we go to display settings, just a quick tip here, try changing your screen resolution. Actually, the native resolution of this Surface Book that I'm working is 3000 by 2000, but I prefer 1920 by 1080 because this stuff actually looks better, and you can change the scaling of apps. Okay, so there's the personal settings. All right, so one highlight for 9.3. So let's jump back to our PDF here, and we're going to now choose RMA. Okay, so let's go back up to the top. In the marketing section, or the sales purchasing service section, you can see there's a few things, and if you're wondering what they've done in any one of these sections, you just jump to the section and you get like a detailed breakdown. So here in RMA, now what SAP's done is they've added a document in the sales AR chain called the return request document, and what that will allow you to do is it operates as your inbound RMA document for your customer. So if I flip over to the demo system here, you can see return request is in there. I believe there's always been a goods return, but I think now they've actually created a goods return request. So this would be a document you could use to send to your vendor to request to send something back to them if you were a wholesaler or distributor, right? If that makes sense. Okay, but this return request now can be the electronic representation of the thing that's coming back, the inbound good. And if I go to a return request, so for this particular customer, they're sending back a lighting ballast, and you'll notice that there's new UDFs on the like standard fields actually for return reason, and you're allowed to define these lists, and return action. Are we replacing it, crediting it, repairing it, returning it? And this form, this object is meant to behave in a certain way. Like you're allowed to set this up so that you can see you're bringing it back into this warehouse 3. So if we look at the inventory available to promise data for this item, you can see that warehouse 3 is the return damaged warehouse, and it's adding, a ordered value, an on-ordered value of 1. That doesn't mean that it's on a purchase order. That means that it's on an RMA order coming back, and it's coming back isolated to this return damaged warehouse. So it does factor into your overall available promise, which is nice, but it gives you a facility to sort of isolate it. So nice stuff. And you can drive a print. You could drive a print version of this off this if it's something you send to your customer to attach to the shipping manifest or what have you. So RMA, nice feature. It's now here, 9.3. So that might be reason enough to upgrade to 9.3 for some of you. Simple routing in production orders. So again, sometimes the features aren't being completely added. But this document will describe whether this feature is absolutely brand new or what exactly they've done. So the first one is resource capacity. They've added something for resource capacity, but on the production routing, what they've done is they've actually given you the ability now to do routing stages in your bill of materials. So, we have the concept of different line types within the BOM. They sort of set that up, I think, in maybe version 9.1 or 9.2. It could be an item, a resource, or, well, let's just look. So let's go into a bill of materials in the demo system here. Yeah, you had the ability to do an item, resource, or text line. Now you've got this ability to do routing stages, and you can define what those routing stages are. Right, so you can actually kind of set up your bill of materials in Business One now more like a practical workflow, more like a routing, right? And you can give the route sequences here. So this means you're allowed to define whether or not the route stages are happening in parallel or in series, right? So some nice data structure there, some nice additions to Business One. Check it out in the release highlights. All right, 43 seconds left on my rooster timer. Time for one last thing, company-specific mailer setup. All right, so if we go to it, we're just going to go to the, just going to go to the top, and we're going to look in the platform extensibility area of Business One. And now you see it, company-specific mailer configuration. So let's jump to it in the PDF. And here you go. So in the General Settings tab, so it used to be if you had multiple SAP companies, you could really only define one outgoing SMTP mail server for each company. And you could maybe trick it into looking like it comes from a certain person. But in the case where you've got different Business One companies, and let's just go to it here in the demo system. In the case where you had different Business One companies, where you wanted to set up completely separate SMTP services, now you go into General Settings and you go into Services, and it's right there, Enable Company-Specific Mailer Configuration. So then we can do on a company-by-company basis the specific SMTP. And the SMTP information could be different. Maybe one of your servers for one of your companies needs TLS encryption and the other one doesn't. You know the drill, right? So it's there now. Nice feature. All right. Okay. So there's the rooster timer. So our time is up for that quick review. But if you want to see more from this document, or if there's something in the new release of SAP Business One 9.3 that is tripping you up, or you'd like to know more, put a comment in the comment section below. Like, subscribe to the channel, whatever you'd like to do. But yeah, feel free to interact. Probably comments are more important than thumbs up or thumbs down because it gives us ideas on what you'd like to see. Thanks for joining us.